Well, hi. Here we are. It's November the 10th. Again, another chilly, cloudy day on the island. Trust everyone's well. Today, I happened to just pop in to visit a friend at his office. I was down checking out our sailboat and popped into his office. And in his office, he has a couple of televisions running all the time. And well, he's working away, and it's just sort of a background noise, cuts other noise out for him, and just, it's one of those things. And remember when you were a kid, had a radio on doing your studying and homework, well, or your whatever, if you're not that old, and after radios, you'd have your whatever your music player was on. And but anyways, as I walked in and we were chatting, and I'm looking at, I think it was CNN that was on. And it was like coming into a different world. You know, I follow a lot of information from different journalists, researchers, investigative journalists online. And you look at what everybody is doing, everybody is saying, they have videos or in print. And then you sort of analyze that, compare around. And you come to some conclusions on your own after a lot of work and thinking. And but it was just totally night and day, the comments coming off of CNN. And it's intriguing. You can go to any TV channel, any of the mainstream media, and you'll find that. I mean, they're all regurgitating the same thing, maybe a different talking head reading the script. Oh, they might put a different nuance in here and there and whatever. But it's totally rigged. I mean, how can all of these journalists talking about a story have the exact identical take on it, whether it's in the United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, or Britain, or wherever? It's totally intriguing. Another thing we're noticing is a lot of these people who have really good insight and really sort of trigger thoughts, throw things on the table into the debate that gets you thinking, they are being banned off social media. There's just dozens of people that I know have lost everything, all of their information off of Facebook, off of YouTube, off of Twitter, just totally banned altogether. And some of these are pretty influential, intelligent people, and it sort of makes you wonder. And I've been censored a couple times myself. And again, I'm small potatoes. I'm just starting at this thing. I'm just sort of getting the feel of it. And so what we're going to do today, I'm going to put a couple of links a few links again in the description end. One is Dr. Shiva. He's with two other technical experts are going to explain the voting system and the counting system that's done electronically. And it's a bit long, but it's really worth a look. He's doing it in the way that he can teach you, so you can sort of teach it to other people. That's his whole mantra, Dr. Shiva. And he's in Massachusetts, actually running for Senate there as an independent voter, and has run into this so many times as an independent candidate, I should say, and he is running to the conflict where he's not getting the vote that mathematically you would think he would get. So I think you'll find that interesting. And I'll put a couple of other links as well. There's another link to James Corbett, who is hosting a Goodbye YouTube party. See, a lot of the people are just leaving YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. I mean, it's just due to the crazy censorship, the one-sided censorship. If you are against the train of thought that CNN has and all the other talking heads have, well, they sort of throw you off. They want everybody brainwashed thinking the same thing. And it's interesting because it all ties in tune with the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, the World Health Organization, the UN, this global thing that is trying to spread through the world. And it's interesting that Schwab on one of the articles says the world will never return to normal. Masks, get used to them. They say you're going to wear them. They're going to be a standard part of your dress code. And I'm thinking, I mean, this is total stupidity. Total stupidity. So I've got those links in. You can read them yourself and watch the videos. What I am doing, I have a website called Dreaming Do. That's dreaming and do.com. And I had used that for yacht sales and some other things that we do. And as I am sort of retiring from that, we're going to turn that Dreaming Do site into a site that reflects what we do on what we're doing now. And we'll post some of these videos on there as well. And on that site I will have links to these investigative journalists who are being sort of deplatformed and kicked through, because a lot of them are starting their own sites as well, from Japan through to North America through to London. And if you have an interest of looking on the other side of the coin and just trying to really figure out for yourself what is going on, rather than being one of those manipulated, just like a herd of sheep or herd of cows, everybody's sort of just leading you where they want you to go. This will give you some extra information where if you're one of those types who likes to make up your mind and understand what's happening. Some people don't give a damn. They don't want to know. Well, that's fine. That's their right. But if everybody does that, we're all going to end up herded into a corral where we may not want to be. There's controversial things like nutrition that you can use for your own health and your own immune system. You'll notice they never ever talk about that. They talk about goofy shit, like don't body check in a hockey game. This is what's going. Now, who ever dreamed that up? If you body check somebody, it could cause you got bigger risk for catching the Wuhan waltz. Maybe a greater risk for concussion, but how in the hell does the virus come into that? Some of these bureaucrats and politicians who come up with ideas, you just shake your head and say, what the hell, what are they smoking? Another thing that is intriguing, there's discussion now with the rates coming up that perhaps they should have some curfews, more lockdowns. Think about that. Just think about that. How in the hell is a curfew going to interfere with the virus? It's like these plastic shields you have to have in front of your bank teller or in front of the cashier. Once they're behind that plastic sheet, they're safe, right? Because everybody knows that a virus doesn't go underneath the hole in the bottom, doesn't go over the top that's wide open to everything, or around either side. You have this thing in front of your face and you feel secure. Now, it's just not logical. It doesn't make any sense. Totally not. It doesn't make any sense. And now none of these twits who are telling us what they're going to do to protect us, they never tell you about getting your immune system built up, taking vitamin D3, make sure you got vitamin C, make sure you're eating well, you're exercising, and you're sleeping right. They never go into that common sense. They don't also tell you, they say the deaths are on the rise, but they don't say in British Columbia, that the opioid overdoses, drug overdose deaths are much, much higher. Much, much higher. Nobody ever talks about that. They just, because they can't control you with that, but they control you with this mask and what have you. So this whole conversation, YouTube doesn't like it, Twitter doesn't like it, Facebook doesn't like it. So at any time you can be censored, your video's taken down, or you can be just sort of deleted out of the system. So in the description and here I'll put addresses to the other websites that we have, like dreamingdo.com. strangersandpoetry.com, strangersandpoetry.wordpress.com, and I'll give you a link to a lot of the other fellows and gals who've been deplatformed, just so you have that. Just if you're in the mind to sort of really see what's going on the other side of the coin. And if you're not, hey, don't worry about it. Don't look. Just, you have the delete button. Just delete this. But so that's about all for today. I mean, that censorship is just really ranking up, especially if you're talking about the U.S. voting system. It's totally corrupt. Totally corrupt. And if you're watching CNN, it's just that Trump is having a temper tantrum because he lost. Well, it depends. Maybe it depends how you lose. If you lose from the all the votes are calculated, are made legally and then counted legally, there's no problem. In some cases, there's dead people voting. People born in 1800 voting, supposedly still alive. I mean, CNN's not telling you that. The mainstream media is not telling you that. And there's so many idiosyncrasies going on that it's just total hijacking. Like, that's why I guess Biden is really going on wants everybody to wear a mask. That's why Trudeau wants everybody to wear a mask. I mean, these are mass bandits. I mean, you wonder why I say that? Well, you just look at the ramifications of what Biden has been doing that nobody talks about. His dealings with China, Russia, Ukraine, him and his son. You just have to look at the WE scandal and all the crap that our Prime Minister is sort of sweeping under the rug. But anyway, so this is to sort of say, hey, we don't agree with these mass bandits and everything they say. And it used to be, in a free world, you had the right to disagree. You don't have to agree with everything everybody else says. But in this sort of scenario, what these people are doing, they want to control your thoughts. You have to think the same as everybody else. You have to do what everybody else is doing. You have to obey. It's called control. You're just a cog in the wheel. We'll take your taxes and you obey. It's interesting. Take care. Bye for now. And check these videos out. Check these links out.